Right. Good evening. So today we are going to continue that unit which we started in grade 11. The second unit, right? We started the second unit as first information system, and we couldn't continue that particular unit because we had some areas in unit in grade 10. That's why we went to grade 10 and take or finish those things. Can anyone tell me the last thing which we studied in ICT and society, information system? What did we study in information system at last? Have we discussed about artificial system, natural systems? Did I explain about types of system, artificial system, natural system? Yes or no?
Yes,
Nobody
sir.
knows, right? Did I explain the types of system, artificial, natural, open, closed?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what about the term information system? Did I explain information system? Types of information system, manual information system, computer-based information system?
No, sir.
No. Okay, look. Right, so we started the information system, but we finished only a little part during those 2 or 3 classes. So let me take a quick recall on what we had in the previous classes, 2 or 3 classes. Right, so things need to be remembered are system. Right, so you should remember the term system. You must be able to define the term system. So everyone remembers, right? So I'm not going to take that. Then you have some words related to system. So you have components, you have subsystem, and also you have system. So remember that connection. Components, subsystems, okay, and systems. So I have explained the relationship with the help of a small diagram. So hope you remember, right? So we also talked about elements of system. So every system has 3 elements: inputs, process, output. So we took some systems and identified these 3 elements. And then we took the types of systems. Okay, so we have types based on 2 different aspects. The first one according to the formation, how the system is formed, right? Formation. There we have 2 types of systems, natural and artificial. Okay, natural system, artificial system. Artificial system. Then we have another criteria where the system is divided into 2 based on how a system communicates with the environment, right? So it's about environment. So they are open system, closed system. Okay, so we took some example for natural system as well as artificial system. So open system, closed system, we took enough examples. Okay, so these are the things which we studied during those 2 or 3 classes. Okay, so let's check the today's things. All right, so look, so we completed about system, but the unit is information system, right? As we discussed earlier, the unit is information system, right? So now let's take this term information system. How did we define the term system? Collection of components which work together to achieve a task, or even you can say combination of components which work together to do some tasks, specific tasks, right? That is system. Now we take information system. What is it? It's a very simple definition. The system which converts the data into information is called information system. I repeat it. If a system is able to convert the data into information, then it must be called information system, right? So the main function of an information system is to convert the data to information. Look here. So it takes the data, then process takes place, and as a result of this, information is produced. So this is the main function of an information system. So it takes the data and converts that into information. Okay, that's why it gets the name. Look here, information system. So when it comes to the definition for information system, you don't need to define the term system because we already studied the system. So you need to focus on this word, information system. So we can simply say that it's a system which converts the data to information. You don't need to explain about system in this particular definition. Okay, right. There can be types of information system. We already discussed about types of system. Even information system has types. Before I take those types, let me take an example for information system. Right? There may be so many examples taken, but I take a very simple example. You can understand that one because this is too closer to you. I think I explained this example. Did I explain about the procedure of issuing character certificate example? Did I explain or did I take that example? The procedure of issuing character certificate in a school. Did I take that example and explain under information system?
No, sir.
Okay, right. So look here. Let's take a simple example which is related to school. Issuing character certificate. So everyone knows that a school issues character certificate to every student. That character certificate shows the character of a particular student. So character means not only the behaviors, it also shows, or it also includes all of your academic achievements and extracurricular activities. All these things are included in this printed document called character certificate that must be issued by the principal of the school. So that is a very important document for each and every individual who finds jobs or something, because you spend a lot of time in a school, lot of years in a school. So your principal may be the responsible person to you. So he or she may understand about your characters and everything. So that character certificate is a very important document for each and every individual. So I take that example to explain the term information system. So I will take that example, not only that example, I will take how a character certificate is issued in a school, right? That procedure in order to explain that IS, information system. Look here. So if you want to obtain a character certificate in your school, first of all, you have to get an application form from your school. There is an application form issued. It asks many things about you, maybe your personal data, some of your academic achievements, extracurricular activities. So there are spaces provided for filling your data. So first of all, you need to take that application form from your school. After that, you must fill it with appropriate data, right? Your personal data, your academic, maybe your OL results, AL results. Mostly you need character certificate when you are about to leave the school. Maybe while you are studying in a school, you don't need to take character certificate. Mostly it is not important. But when we want to leave the school after the A levels, definitely we need. So your O level results, A level results, and some extracurricular activities, the clubs and societies in which you participated, right? Some other unions or something. So all these things must be carefully written. Okay, right. So now assume that you have filled everything. Once the once that application form is filled, it has to be handed over to the particular person in the school. There may be an in charge, maybe a clerk, or maybe a teacher in charge. So there may be a person. So you need to hand it over. So after that, that particular person, that in charge, has to verify whether the data which are submitted by you are correct, because you gave those details without any evidence. You just filled. So they must have the responsibility to check or to verify whether your data are perfect. So, you know, if it is a school which follows standards, definitely they must have all of your data in your school. Not only academic, all of your participations, all the awards that you won, all these things must be kept in your file in your school. So now what happens, that particular clerk walks into the room, that record room or somewhere, and find a file. There should be a file for you, right? So now he has to take the file and check whether your data are correct, right? So once the verification process is over, he has to type the character certificate and hand over that to the principal to get the signature. So with the signature, you know, that character certificate is issued to you. This is the whole scenario. Have you understood? So you can easily understand, right? This is the normal procedure for issuing character certificate. Mostly all the school must follow this idea. Right, now, look, in this example, we can identify an information system. So don't think that information system is something which has physical appearances and buildings and other things. No, if data converted to information, then definitely it is in information system. You can't expect physical things and other components. Okay, right. In this instance, what happened? Data are converted to information. So what are the data? You know, the details that you filled in that particular application form should be data. Your name, right? Your address, results, everything must be data. So after that application, after the handing over of the application form, that clerk verified your application. He or she checked everything carefully. That is process, right? That is a process. Verification is process. As a result of that process, character certificate is issued to you. That character certificate is the output, right? It's the result. That is information. Have you understood? So we already studied in grade 10 that data are useless, data are meaningless, but information is meaningful. Look here, if you submit your details, maybe personal details, academic achievements, and extracurricular activities for an interview in a paper or something, nobody accepts. Assume you wrote them on a paper, right, like an application form or something, and hand over that to an interview panel. Will those people in the interview accept? Never, because that is just a paper, that is just a data. But now the same data, but in a different format. Those data are verified and they are approved by the signature by the principal. Now that character certificate, actually the application, the data which are in the application form turned into character certificate. But this character certificate is very, very meaningful now because it is an information. It has been obtained after process. Okay, so this is an information system. Clear? So there may be many examples provided, but this is enough because hereafter I have to take the types of information system, so I can explain little more than this, right? So let's take the types of information system. Listen to me. So there are two types of information systems. The first one is called manual information system. Manual information system. Second one is called computer-based information system. So this can be called manual information system. So this is MIS. This is computer-based information system, CBIS, computer-based information system, right? So these two are types. So definitely this is an information system. This is also an information system. So if they are information system, definitely they have the capacity to process the data into information. But there may be some differences between manual information system and computer-based information system. Look, without defining these two terms, I take the same example again, right? I'm going to take the same example which I have taken minutes ago, that character certificate procedure. Look here. So I take that same example in order to explain these two examples. Look, now assume there is a student A. He wants to get the character certificate from his school. So he went to the school and he was asked to fill the same application form. Okay, so he filled that application form by providing his details. After giving that application form, or after handing over that application form, that particular person or clerk went to the record room where students' files are arranged. So he walked into the room and find his file, and then he verified everything. Finally, the character certificate is issued. This happened in one school. Have you understood? So I take it again. There is a student called A. He went to his school for obtaining character certificate, but he was asked to fill an application form. So he filled that application form by providing some data. After that, he handed over that to the person. That person verified everything by using the data which are in the school. So remember, the school maintained a personal file for each student. So there is a room called record room. So he went to the record room and found that particular file and verified everything. Finally, character certificate printed and given. Okay, definitely this is an information system, no doubt. Okay, because data were converted to information. Right, look. Now we have another student named B. So now B also wants to take character certificate. So now he goes to his school. He is also asked to fill the application form. They also same procedure. So he filled the application form and handed over. But look, in this particular school, not the data are maintained or the data are kept in electronic databases, not in the traditional files and cupboards. So this school maintains all the data about students in electronic databases, which means in computers. So now, after getting that filled application form, that person doesn't need to go to the record room because he has everything in his computer. So he is sitting right in front of the computer. So now he finds his all the data with just one click. He might give the admission number of this particular student, and immediately he found all the data on the screen. So he quickly checked, verified everything, and character certificate printed and given. Have you understood? So in these two instances, data are converted into information. Okay, I hope that you all agree, right? Because in the previous school also, the details which are given in the application form are converted to character certificate. Even in the second school also, same thing happened. But look there, in the first school, right? In the first school, the data were converted to information manually because it was all about people. And also, it was all about papers, files. These are manual things. There was no electronic medium involved. The process, everything was done by people. So that is manual information system. So what is manual information system? It's very simple. That if data are converted to information by people, then it must be manual information system. But in the second school, data converted to information, right? Yes, people are there, but look here, your data are saved in electronic medium, which means in a hard drive or somewhere. And also, see, that person who handles everything doesn't have a burden. Because so he can easily find the data, he can easily check it. Even the character certificate can easily be produced. You don't need to type everything because they have a format inside of the computer. So the student's data can easily be sent to the format automatically, and your character certificate is printed. Even you don't need to spend time, maybe minutes, for printing the character certificate. Have you understood? So your data are in the database. They have a character certificate format. So now with one click, the data need to be added in the character certificate are automatically added. You don't need to type anything, right? So I hope that you know about your progress report given in your school. Do you remember the progress report, the computerized progress report? So they never type one by one. So they have the format, they have your marks, right? So once marks are confirmed, they just put a click or something, every mark of your subject in the right place in the progress report. They never type one by one in the progress report. They have everything in your database. So that is also very simple. So this is called computer-based information system. So in the previous example, right, that particular school maintained a manual information system where everything was done by people. But in the second example, that particular school uses a computer-based information system for producing character certificate. But look, even though it is a computer-based information system, there should be people, because without people, you cannot do the things. But the workload of the people will be very less, and also they must be there only for coordination or something, only for organizing the thing. But in manual information system, it's all about people. All the activities must be carried out by the people. There cannot be any electronic medium or electronic devices. Okay, so I hope that you can understand these two types. Okay, before we define these two, let me take one more example that is also very simple. Look, nowadays you all have experiences with banks, right? So you might have visit to the bank. So what happened to the banks? Nowadays, almost all the banks are computerized. So when you want to withdraw some money, what happened? You are asked to fill a particular slip. There is a small form, right, called slip. So you need to fill that withdrawal slip. So once that slip is filled, you need to hand it over to the counter, to a particular counter. Then that particular employee has to verify your details. He has to verify whether your account number is correct, whether the requested amount is there. So he has to verify something. But not, he never goes inside, or he never takes a big account book and turn the pages over and see your account summary. He never does that, because he has every customer's details in that particular computer. Every person who is in the counter has a computer. All the customers' details are saved. So with one click, they get your account summary. So they may give you account number and find it. So within 1 minute, everything is over, right? So what happened now? Here also data are converted to information. What are data? The details that you gave on the slip. Account holder name, account number, right? Date. So these are data. After some processing, right? So they verified your account number, they verified your bank account balance. So they are processed. As a result of the process, you got money and everything. That is information. So bank must be an information system, but the modern banks are CBIS, computer-based information system, because they convert the data into information using computers and related accessories. But if you think back, maybe decades ago, banks were not computerized. You can imagine, but you don't have any experiences with them, but you can imagine. So maybe I'm talking about 20 years back. So 20 years back, banks were not computerized. So there, what happened if you want to withdraw some money? Same procedure, you had to fill a form, that slip. Once that slip is filled, it has to be handed over to the employee. So now that employee has a workload. Why? There is no data in the computer. There was no computer. So he had to go to the room, maybe account, there may be a room which has account books or something. So he had to go to the room and find the right account book, and he had to bring that and turn over the pages and find the account summary. And also, if there may be some calculation needed, like interest calculation or something, he had to do everything by hand, by manual. So it took time. So after some time, the verification should be taken for some time. After that, you will be given money. So this is manual. Have you understood? So now, nobody wants to. Okay, before I take that differences, let's define these two information system now. With my examples, I hope that you can understand, or you can define these two. Okay, so remember, both are information systems. So both can convert the data to information, but maybe the way of converting, maybe the components that they use make the difference. Look here. So I directly define it. So what is it? If it is manual information system, data are converted to information by people. In manual information system, there are some vital components. They are papers. Papers are very important, because in manual information system, everything is written in written format. So papers are vital components. So when you have many papers, you need files. I'm talking about a traditional file, maybe a cardboard file, or maybe a plastic file or something. It's a file. So when you have many files, you need filing cabinets, cupboards, right? So you need papers, you need files, you also need filing cabinets. In addition to these, definitely you need people. So these are the vital components in a manual information system. Okay, so if someone wants to start a manual information system, all he wants are these things: people, paper, files, filing cabinets. If you are able to gather them, you can straight away start a manual information system. That is very, very, very easy. But on the other side, if it is a computer-based information system, how can we define? data are converted to information by computers or by computer related components, that is computer based information system. So what are the vital components in computer based information system? What are the vital components? So in manual information system, we have papers, we have files, filing cabinets, of course people. So these are the important components in manual information system. Right. Even computer-based information system also has components. Can you give me some of the components, important components found in CBIS? I want some. RTR. Give me some components found in a computer-based information system. RT. You are there, right? Dariha.
People
Repeat
to
your
work
answer.
on the computers.
Repeat your answer.
We need a computer.
Computer. What else?
People to work on it.
People. Okay.
Database management system.
Database
A
management. Software. Look. In computer-based information system, yes, the vital components or vital component must be computer, but we are not going to mention that computer in one word because computer is not a single component because it has a collection. So better, rather than mentioning as one word like computer, try dividing that into different parts like hardware. Have you understood? So in computer-based information system, there must be hardware. So even in your computer, you have hardware, printers there, right, scanners there, right? So there may be several hardwares. So that is important. At the same time, having those hardware is important, but that is not sufficient. You need an additional software inside. Look here, the bank fulfills our needs within minutes. How? Is it because of those hardware components? Maybe, right? Hardware components may be one of the reasons. But in addition to the hardware components, there is a special software running in the bank's computer to fulfill our task. That is a special software developed by the bank that can handle all the banking related activity. That is very important. Take a look at the supermarket. Think about the supermarket billing counter. So they have computers, barcode readers and everything. But those having the monitor, barcode reader, printer, everything important. But so when the barcode reader reads something, those things are printed in a software. You can see the screen, right? So some colorful interfaces there. So there is a software running. That particular software is the main reason for printing the bills. Have you understood? So that must be developed. So hardware and also software. Even if I take my previous example, character certificate, issuing character certificate, they also, in order to issue the character certificate, they have a special software inside. Don't think that it is typing in an MS Word or something. No, there is a software developed for issuing character certificate. So that's why I told you your data are automatically fed to the character certificate format and printed, right? So that is important. Hardware important, software important. Look, in manual information system, you have papers. Why? To keep the data. To store the data, you need papers. But here, you cannot have any traditional, components. So here you need electronic database. So we can say database. Database means electronic database. Have you understood? Here, you have to keep the data. Here, papers or files enough, but here the data must be kept in electronic databases. But in short, I put it as database. So hardware there, software there, database there. In addition to these three, you need some telecommunication systems. So telecommunication devices like networks. You learn them in grade 10, right? So think about the banks. So if you take a bank, you know all the branches are connected. You can withdraw the money from anywhere in the world, right? So you may have account in one branch, but you can withdraw the money from another branch. How? All the banks branches are connected. So you need some communication systems or communication devices, maybe routers and other things. That is also an important component, right? So telecommunication. Telecommunication, have you understood? So don't think that if it is computerized, it means having computers and having softwares inside of a room. That may be okay, but if it is a perfect computer information system, it beyond that. Like a bank. Look, banks, right? Yes, computers are connected inside. At the same time, all the branches are connected. That may be the perfect computerized system. So they need some telecommunication components, right? Or telecommunication devices or facilities. In addition to these, definitely you need people. Okay, so people also there. So these are the vital components used in computer-based information system. These are the components or important components used in manual information system. Okay, right. So with this introduction or with this explanation, now we can understand that having a manual information system is useless. Because look here, if you take any institutions now or any systems now, all these systems turn to computer-based information system. Right? If you take the bank, see, that is computerized. Even if you take the character certificate issuing process, that also in most schools nowadays, that is in computerized format. Even if you take the progress report system, so in school there may be a small system for generating your progress report. Nowadays almost all the schools use computer based information system even for producing progress report. Okay, because there may be so many advantages in CBIS. So let's discuss the advantages of CBIS. But I'm not going to discuss the advantages. Better take the differences between manual and computer. So when we are discussing differences, then you can take some of the advantages of this one and also as disadvantages of manual. But I'm not going to put the heading as disadvantages of manual or advantages of computerized. I'm going to take the differences between these two. But when we discuss this, you can obtain some advantages as well as disadvantages. Okay, right, look. Right, before we take those differences, have a look at these things. Right, look here. What is meant by information system? information system is a system which collects, stores, and processes the data for delivering information. Okay, so I simply mentioned converting the data into information. That is more than enough. But here I have elaborated little deeper. Look here, collects, stores, and process the data for delivering information, simply converting the data to information. What is manual information system? Data are processed manually. People, papers, files, filing cabinets, and manual procedures are vital components. Define the term computer-based information system. A computer-based information system uses computers to collect the data and process them as information. Hardware, software, data, procedures, and people are the important component in the CBAS. But better to add that telecommunication also. I didn't add here, but add that. Okay, right. So let's take the differences. So if you are able to understand these two, or if you understood these two types, manual information system as well as computer-based information system, then you can easily pick some differences, right? Okay, I don't want to explain. I want some, but here you have manual information system and also CBIS, computer-based information system. Let's discuss the differences. So give me one difference, Divya N. Give me one difference between manual and computerized. Give me one. Divya N.
Sir, less accuracy.
Which one is less?
MIS.
Okay, so MIS has less accuracy. Right, so it has more accuracy. Okay, so this is correct because in manual information system, all the things were done or are done by people. So as people, we can make mistakes. So you can't say that it is accurate, right? There can be mistakes, right? But in computer-based information system, everything is done by computers and softwares. So they never make mistakes because they follow the instructions fed. So they work based on the instructions. So they never make mistakes. That is first one. Second. Kirisan. Give me one more. M. Kirisan.
Yes, sir. MIS less security.
Less security.
CBIS
more security. Yes, you can take that point too, because in manual information system, you cannot have some safety measures, protection measures. So because you have data in papers, files, and everything. So you know those data can easily be affected. Some external factors can affect that. Some natural disasters can affect that. So it is extremely difficult to keep the data in manual information system as secure. But here in computer-based information system, you have all the data in electronic medium, electronic database. So as we discussed in grade 10, there may be some mechanisms to protect the data in electronic medium, like passwords can be given. You can take regular backups. You may use encryption methods. So by using such mechanisms, data, maybe the security of the data can be ensured. Okay, so that is the point. So here less security. So here, right here, more security. Okay, right. So then number 3. Who is it? Madangi. Give me one more.
computer-based information system and
Please
process
talk
more
loudly, right?
efficiently.
I'm unable to hear anything. Speak loudly.
CBIS processed more efficiently.
Hmm. Okay, efficiency. Okay, right. Efficiency can be there. Any other different features? Any other differences? Any others? Anyone?
Storage.
Okay, so physical storage. You need more physical space for storage in manual, right? More physical space. Because as we discussed, the data are kept in files, cupboards, right? So you need more space for keeping your data. But here in computer-based information system, data are kept in electronic medium, maybe in a hard disk or maybe in a SIM card, maybe in a memory card. So definitely the amount of physical space is very, very less. Okay, so it is less space. You know, this manual information system is very fast. Sorry, it's very slow. You know, efficiency is something different than the speed. So it is very slow because take a look at that example, bank example. Nowadays, we fulfill our tasks within minutes in a bank. It is because of computer-based information system, because everything is computerized. Those staff never face any problems. So they immediately fulfill our task. But think about the traditional banks, there you could see a big queue because one by one things were done manual. So it took time. Okay, even take a look at your what example. So if you take a supermarket, now in a supermarket, you can easily, easily make the transaction in the counter. If even though you buy a lot of things, the particular counter staff who is in the counter fulfills your task within minutes. It is because of the computer-based information system. There may be barcode readers, some softwares. So that is CBIS. But if you go to the normal shop or maybe a traditional shop, you need to spend some time because everything has to be calculated by hand. That particular cashier or someone has to write everything on a paper and has to add everything manually. It takes time, right? So here it is very slow. Here it is fast. Okay, so there can be more differences, but I have taken some of the most important differences. Okay, let's see these things. Okay, I have listed them. Manual information system, more flexibility. Computer-based information system, less flexibility. I tell you what flexibility is little later. Less expensive, more expensive. That may be okay because in manual information system, you don't have any computer related things. You don't have any electronic devices. You have all papers and files and other things. So expensive, less expensive. But here in computer-based information system, more expensive. Less accuracy, yes, we discussed, they are more accuracy. Less processing speed, because as I discussed just now, everything was done or is done manually, so it takes time. But here it is high processing speed. Less security in manual, okay, they are more security. Large space needed for storage, they can store more data in a small physical medium. Okay, look at the first point. Except the first point, you can understand the remaining points, right? Look at the first one. Manual information system is flexible, but computer is not flexible. Because in manual, but flexible is, right? In English, flexibility is something which refer about adjustments. So look here, in manual information system, almost all the things are done by people. So as people, we have such flexibility. we never we can adjust ourselves according to the situation. So for example, if I take a simple example, look here. So assume that it may not be a perfect example, but you can understand. Think about your attendance system in your school. The attendance of your staff taken by fingerprint reader. So if it is fingerprint reader, you know, fingerprint reader is a machine. So it doesn't show any flexibility. So if someone puts the finger at 7:30 in the morning, that shows 7:30. If someone puts at 7:35, it shows 7:35. You cannot adjust because it is a system. It works according to the instructions, so you cannot expect any flexibility there. But think about the traditional attendance system where you have to sign. So now, even though you come late, even though you arrive late, you can adjust that. You can adjust the time you arrived at 7:35, but still it is possible to put the signature as 7:30. So because of the people and because of the components that you have, make you to have some flexibility. But in an environment where computers and other things are related, you cannot expect flexibility, right? So that is the point which I have added there. Computer-based information systems have less flexibility, but manual has more flexibility. Look at the points. I have 6 points. Take those 6 points again. More flexibility, less flexibility. As an individual, you want a system with more flexibility, right? So in this instance, you prefer manual information system because nobody wants to have an information system which has less flexibility. So definitely in this first point, manual information system dominates. Look at the second one. Less expensive, most expensive. So here also we like to have systems with less expensive, right? Less cost. So maybe it's okay. Less accuracy. Nobody wants to have a system with less accurate, right? So it must be more accuracy. So here in the third point, computer-based information system has the favor, right? Look at the number 4, less processing speed, which means slow. But computer-based information system is fast. So again, we don't want to have a system which has less speed, right? So we want high-speed systems. So they are also CBIS dominates. Less security, more security. Definitely we want more security. Large space needed for storage. There are less space needed. Which one do you like? Less space. So look here, you have 6 points. Out of these 6, only 2 of them are in favor to manual, but the remaining 6 are in favor to CBIS. It clearly indicates that computer-based information system may have some good things. Look at these 2 points. Actually, these 2 points are not vital. Flexibility, you know, sometimes you don't expect flexibility. If you work properly, if you work according to the procedures, you don't expect flexibility. If you arrive at 7:30 or if I arrive at 7:25 every day, you don't want it flexibility. And also expensive, because to produce some big things, good things, you need to invest. That is inevitable. So these 2 points are not biggest, but these are very important. Look here, accurate, speed, security, small space, these are very important. So what I'm trying to say is, even though you have 2 types of information system as manual and computer-based information system is the information system which dominates in the present world now, because it has so many advantages. Look here, all these things are advantages. These highlighted things must be advantages. So this may be the reason why nowadays every information systems turn to computer-based information system. A bank, maybe character certificate issuing, electricity billing, whatever, right? Everything is turning to this one. Okay, so these are the things about manual information system and computer-based information system. So today we covered a little area. We started with information system, and then we identified an example for information system. Then we took the types of information system, and then we took 2 examples for both manual and computerized, and finally we differentiate these 2 systems. Okay, so these are enough for today. We can take the next heading in the next class. Remember that may be the most important heading in this particular unit. Of course, all the questions which can be asked in the final paper can come from that particular unit. That takes some time, even though that is a heading that can be taught for 3 or 4 classes. So it may take some time. At the same time, it is very important. So make sure that you attend that particular class. If you fail, you can't, right? Okay, it's enough. We will meet in next class. Thank you.